including tubercular, viral, and fungal meningitis. So bacterial meningitis, the type of the organisms depends upon the time or the lifetime of the patient. During birth to 4 weeks, first month of the birth, you will see bacterial meningitis by E. coli or group B streptococci. After 4 to 12 weeks, there will be presence of group B streptococci, E. coli, but then Pseudomonas, Salmonella, Listeria, and H. influenza will be added. From 3 months to 3 years, pneumococcus, meningococcus, and H. influenza are the organism. And after 3 years, and in adults, you will see Neisseria meningitidis, meningococcus, as well as Streptococcus pneumoniae, that is pneumococcus. So adult लाई चाहिँ meningitis भयो भने will think about either pneumococcus or meningococcus. During birth and very early time of life, 1 year 1 month matra bhasa baby भने the bacteria are E. coli and group B streptococci, and in between you'll see E. coli, streptococci, group B streptococci, pneumococcus, salmonella, listeria, and H. influenza. है त सो सानो बच्चा धेरै सानो बच्चा छ भने E. coli र group B streptococci ले मात्र गर्छ. ठिकठिकैको बच्चा छ भने तिनीहरूमै अझ H. influenza, hemophilus influenza पनि एड हुन्छ. अडल्ट हो भने they will be limited to either Neisseria or streptococci pneumoniae. है So, how does a bacteria reach meninges? What is meningitis? It is inflammation of the leptomeninges and um, of the leptomeninges. Right? So, pia matter बाहेक dura matter र उसलाई भयो भने चाहिँ it will be termed as meningitis. So, what's the pathogenesis for bacterial meningitis? If there is infection somewhere in our body and there is a septic foci present in our body, patient is suffering from tonsillitis or upper respiratory tract infection or liver abscess by bacteria or renal abscess, कुनै पनि ठाउँमा septic foci छ भने patientलाई there will be bacteremia, and that bacteria circulating within the blood will go and lodge um, in the meninges, and that will lead to presence of bacterial meningitis. Sometimes from the septic foci, it will go into the bloodstream, leading to bacteremia, and from the bloodstream, from the circulating blood, it will go and seed and home in the meninges and lead to inflammation of the meninges that will be termed as meningitis. So what will be the clinical feature? Clinical feature will be different in infants and newborn and will be different in adults. In infant and newborn, there will be non-specific symptoms of fever, irritability, भनेको बच्चा रोगको रोइ गर्छ. Sometimes only there will be lethargy. बच्चाले हात खुट्टा चलाइराख्न सक्दैन. पुअर फिडिङ भनेको जति पनि खाए सबै भमिटिङ गरिदिन्छ ब्रेस्ट मिल्कलाई. हाई पिच्ड क्राई, bulging anterior fontanelle, convulsions or seizures, and sometimes they will go into muscular spasm known as opisthotonus. So सानो बेबीहरू चाहिँ हरूको symptoms चाहिँ अर्कै हुन्छ. Poor feeding, vomiting, irritability, high pitched cry, bulging fontanelles, convulsions, muscle spasm, lethargy, and irritability are the clinical features of meningitis in newborn and infant. If the patient is adult and अलिक ठुलो बच्चा छ भने patient will typically show systemic signs of infection superimposed on clinical evidence of meningeal irritation and neurologic impairment, including headache, photophobia, irritability, clouding of consciousness, and neck stiffness. So patient like fever छ, headache छ, अनि त्यसपछिबाट neck stiffness छ भने these are the main clinical signs of meningitis. Right? Sometimes there will be loss of consciousness, sometimes there will be clouding of consciousness. Clouding of consciousness भनेको पेशेन्टलाई म काछु भएको जस्तो चाहिँ हुन्छ तर एकदम क्लियर चाहिँ हुँदैन. म ठमेलमा छु कि जोरपाटीमा छु, चाबेलमा छु, कहाँ छु, मेडिकल कलेजमा हस्पिटल आएँ कि त्यस्तो थाहा छैन तर काहीँ चाहिँ छु भन्ने छ भने ओरिएन्टेसन छैन राम्रो खालको भने they are your clouding of the consciousness. Right? And and there will be photophobia. Photophobia भनेको घाममा निस्किँदाखेरि एकदम आँखा तिरिमिरी भएर हेर्न नसकेको जस्तो. So headache, fever, and neck stiffness are the triad of bacterial meningitis in adolescents and adult child. In newborns and infants, they cannot tell whether they are having headache or photophobia or neck stiffness. होइन घाँटी यसो चिउरोले चिनले हाम्रो छातीमा छुँदाखेरि दुख्यो भने घाँटीमा पछाडि दुख्यो भने द्याट इज यो नेक स्टिफनेस है. सो पेसेन्ट बच्चाले त सानो बच्चाले नेक स्टिफनेस भन्नु सक्दैन. सो देयर विल बी साइन्स एन्ड सिम्पटम्स लाइक फिभर, इरिटेबिलिटी, जे गरे बोके पनि मान्दैन, रोगको रोइ गरिराख्छ, सुताए पनि मान्दैन, रोगको रोइ गरिराख्छ भने द्याट इज यर इरिटेबिलिटी. दुध खुवाइदियो सबै भमिट गरिरहेको छ, हात खुट्टा चलाएर खेलिरहेको छैन, convulsions आइरहेछ, muscle spasm भइरहेछ भने those are the clinical signs of meningitis in newborns है त. So severe headache, stiff neck. When you look at the chinले हाम्रो छातीमा छुँदाखेरि if there is stiffness or pain in the neck, dislike of the bright light, that is your photophobia, fever and vomiting, drowsy, less responsive, and sometimes a rash. If there is development of the rash, then they will be termed as the symptoms of meningitis. So severe headache, fever, vomiting, and neck stiffness are the main clinical signs of meningitis. So there is a complication of bacterial meningitis that is known as Waterhouse Friderichsen syndrome. This will be asked in Viva Masotha. So what is Waterhouse Friderichsen syndrome? It is a result of meningitis associated septicemia with presence of hemorrhagic impact of the adrenal gland and cutaneous petechiae. So if a patient is suffering from meningitis and he is also having adrenal gland infarct, along with that if he is having skin rashes or petechiae in the skin, then these three triads will be known as Waterhouse Friderichsen syndrome है त. सो Waterhouse भन्ने डाक्टर र Friderichsen भन्ने डाक्टरले के थाहा पाए भन्दाखेरि जो पेसेन्ट पनि मेनिन्जाइटिस भइरहेको छ, मेनिङ्गोकोकल र न्युमोकोकल मेनिन्जाइटिस हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ पेसेन्टको एड्रिनल ग्ल्यान्डमा पनि इम्प्याक्ट हुन्छ र हाइपोनेट्रिमिया हुन थाल्छ, प्लस पेसेन्टको स्किनमा र्यासेस आउन थाल्छ. सो थ्री ट्रायल meningitis, adrenal gland infarct, and cutaneous petechiae comprises of a syndrome known as Waterhouse Friderichsen syndrome, and this syndrome is typically associated with either meningococcal or pneumococcal meningitis. Right? So that is this is Waterhouse Friderichsen syndrome. There will be septicemia by the meningococcus or pneumococcus, and there will be rashes developing everywhere in the body, fever and vomiting, and drowsy or less responsiveness are the clinical features of meningitis. Cold hand and shivering are due to adrenal infarction. Rapid breathing and joint pain or muscle pain are because of adrenal infarct. Right? So three things has to happen: adrenal gland infarct symptoms, meningitis symptoms, and a skin rash or a petechial rashes developing everywhere in the body. Right? So this is very important. This chart examमा सोधेको सोधै गर्छ है. CSF changes in different type of meningitis. You know there are bacterial, viral, and fungal meningitis, and in bacterial we have either normal bacteria or chronic bacteria like tubercular. So Nepal being very rich in tuberculosis, pulmonary tuberculosis पनि धेरै हुने भएर tubercular meningitis rate is also high. That's why we have segregated it into bacterial, viral, and tubercular. Right? So basically, fungal meningitis are very rare, and they will occur only in cases of very immunocompromised patient. एकदम tuberculosis के अरे एकदमै HIV ले ग्रसित छ, क्यान्सरको पनि लास्ट स्टेजमा छ, इम्युनोसप्रेसन थेरापी लिएको धेरै वर्ष भइसक्यो भने मात्र फंगल मेनिन्जाइटिस देख्छौँ. अदरवाइज you will not see fungal meningitis. And the most common type of meningitis are bacterial, viral, and tubercular. Okay? So what will be a normal CSF like? Normal CSF will be clear and colorless like water. The CSF pressure will be 60 to 150 mm mm of water. यो चाहिँ mmHg मा हुँदैन. हाम्रो ब्लड प्रेसर चाहिँ मिलिमिटर क्युब पर एचजी मर्क्युरी लेभलमा गर्थ्यो. सीएसएफ को प्रेसर चाहिँ 60 to 150 अफ वाटर हुन्छ है त. So when you look at the cells will be very less in number, only less than 5 or 0 to 4 cells, and all those cells will be lymphocytes. Right? CSF मा एक त cells एकदमै कम हुन्छ, less than 5 cells हुन्छ. त्यसमा पनि सबै lymphocytes मात्र हुन्छ. Protein is 15 to 45 milligram per dl. Glucose is 50 to 80 milligram per dl. And when you do the bacterial gram stain or bacterial culture, that they will be sterile because the virus will not use up the glucose as bacterial organism. So this is about glucose and bacteriology. Okay. So normal CSF is clear and colorless like water. It has the CSF pressure of 60 to 150 of water, and the cells are very less in number, less than 5 or 0 to 4, and all are lymphocytes. The protein is 15 to 45 milligram per liter. Glucose is 50 to 80 milligram per deciliter. And in bacteriological test, that there will be no growth of the bacteria or the gram stain or the AFB Gill Nielsen stain will not show any growth either. But if the patient is suffering from bacterial meningitis, the CSF will be cloudy or sometimes frankly purulent. The pressure will be elevated more than 180 of water. The cells will be high, 1000 to 1 lakh, and most of them will be neutrophils in bacterial. Proteins increased, glucose reduced, and when you do bacteriological examination, you'll either find gram positive organism or gram negative organism. है E. coli रहेछ भने gram negative देखिन्छ, streptococcus रहेछ भने gram positive देखिन्छ. Similarly, in viral meningitis, the fluid will be, the CSF will be either clear or slightly turbid. Pressure will be markedly elevated. The cells will be moderately increased, only 10 to 100 in number, and all cells will be lymphocytes. Protein will be raised, glucose will be normal, and the bacteriological examination will be sterile because this is because of virus. Virus ल्याबले स्टेन गरेर हेर्न सक्दैन. That's why you will see sterile. Glucose चाहिँ because the virus will not use up the glucose as bacteria. That's why glucose will not be, CSF glucose will be normal. Protein will be elevated. But in tubercular, naked eye examination of the CSF will show clear or slightly turbid fluid, and but there will be cobweb formation. Cobweb भनेको because the proteins in the CSF will be so much elevated that there will be presence of clot like clot. अनि माकुराको जाली जस्तो खालको रेसा रेसा भएको वाला चाहिँ क्लट हुन थाल्छ. That's why they will be known as cobweb appearance, है त. So in tubercular meningitis, we have to remember that they will be slightly turbid, but when you leave CSF for some few minutes, there will be presence of a clot. That clot will be in a form of a coagulum, and that is known as cobweb formation. Right? Coagulum formation. CSF pressure will be mildly elevated. So when you look at the three of these things, the pressure will be mildly raised in tubercular meningitis. Cells will be moderately increased, but all cells will be mononuclear cells, भनेको lymphocytes हुन्छ है त. So viral र tubercular दुईटैमा cells will be lymphocytes, but in viral the cells will be slightly raised. 5 सम्म normal थियो भने 10 to 100 हुन सक्छ. But in tubercular the cells can be 100 to 1000. तर सबसे धेरै cells त केमा आउँछ, bacterial meningitis मा आउँछ. But all the cells are neutrophil in bacterial meningitis. Whereas in viral and tubercular, they will be lymphocytes. Right? Proteins will be elevated, markedly elevated, and glucose will be markedly reduced because all the tubercular bacteria will come and eat up the glucose, use up the CSF glucose. That's why glucose will be reduced in both bacterial as well as tubercular meningitis. And in bacteriology, the gram stain will be negative, whereas AFB tubercular stain, Gill-Nielsen stain will show tubercular bacilli. यो बुझ्यो class? Class,
Yes,
speak
ma'am.
up. Yes,
Who's you, ma'am?
Kino, why are you only speaking? Huh, Deepika? Rest of them are sleeping or what? This class is not for me. You know they are taking exams on the basis of all these online classes. But exam दिइरहेको छ, you have to be more attentive in class, है त? So this chart is very important because in every university examination they are asking about CSF changes in different type of meningitis. Sometimes they will just say write down the CSF changes in tubercular. अनि tubercular को मात्र लेख भन्यो भने के गर्नुपर्छ? दुईटा कलम बनाउनु पर्छ, एउटा फिचर्सको, एउटा नर्मल सिएसएफ फाइन्डिङको, एउटा ट्युबुलरको. But then if they ask you to write CSF changes in different type of meningitis, then you have to make a varying of column, and then you have to write normal, bacterial, viral, and tubercular. Okay. So CSF, this figure here shows that this is a normal CSF, right? The right side ma bhako cha. Kina? Because this is clear and watery. But this figure here shows a slightly turbid CSF. So what are the conditions in which the CSF will become turbid? Class, class.
Viral ma'am.
Okay, viral मा slightly turbid हुन्छ. अनि त्यसपछिबाट here you're seeing a cloudy, देख्यो cloud जस्तो white color. This is clear because you can see the alphabet beneath the fluid. यो clear छ. This is cloudy. So in which condition the cloudy CSF will appear? Either bacterial or tubercular. But in tubercular, bacterial मा चाहिँ cloudy मात्र हुन्छ. But in tubercular, if you leave the CSF sample for some time, you'll see a clot-like formation of रेसा भएको clot-like formation, and that is known as coagulum. That is very typical of tubercular meningitis. Right? So normal CSF is crystal clear and colorless, watery. They can be different type of CSF. They are hazy, cloudy, turbid, milky, bloody, and xanthochromic. So bloody, if the CSF is bloody, either the medical officer or the clinician who is performing CSF tapping, lumbar puncture, is doing it faulty, or patient has subarachnoid hemorrhage, है त. सो subarachnoid hemorrhage भयो भने पनि subarachnoid spaceबाट सबै CSF bloody हुन्छ. त्यही भएर ब्लड आयो सिएसएफमा भने दुईटा मात्र कुरा हुन्छ, कि त तिम्रो टेक्निक फल्टी छ, तिमीलाई लम्बर पङ्क्चर गर्न आएन, कि त पेसेन्ट इज अलरेडी सफरिङ फ्रम CSF, hemorrhagic CSF, and that is seen in case of subarachnoid hemorrhage. Right? Milky CSF will be seen when there is connection with the chyle. Right? अनि त्यसपछि cobweb formations are
Ma'am,
typical for
life
tubercular
very सानो भयो.
meningitis. Milky will be increased in lipid or chyle.
Very good.
Right? Um, that is about that. So morphology of bacterial meningitis, CSF will be either cloudy or frankly purulent. कहिलेकाहीँ CSF number puncture गर्दा फर्स्ट नै सिधै निस्क्यो भने कुरै खतम होइन. You will know that this is a case of bacterial meningitis. So in acute meningitis, an exudate is evident within the leptomeninges over the surface of the brain. जहाँ जहाँ मेनिन्जेसले कभर गरिरहेको छ हाम्रो ब्रेनमा, त्यहाँनिर हामीले एउटा exudative type of fluid जस्तो खालको plaque like substance देख्न सक्छौँ. The meningeal vessels will be engorged, congested, and they will be seen from the naked eye. They will stand out prominently. The location of the exudate varies. H. influenza meningitis will be usually seen in basal meninges. Pneumococcal meningitis, the plaque or the exudate, pus, and all things will be seen over the cerebral convexities and near the sagittal sinus. Okay. So whenever the meningitis is fulminant and chronic, the inflammation may extend to the ventricles, producing ventriculitis. So microscopically, you will see that Even in the CSF, you'll see 1,001 lakhs of neutrophils, and the similar thing will be seen in microscopy of the meninges. When you take a biopsy from the meninges and look under microscope, you'll see that all the exudates are composed of neutrophils, filling the entire subarachnoid space in severely affected areas. They are also found predominantly around the leptomeningeal blood vessels in this severe cases. Whenever you do the gram stain will reveal the positive organism, the gram positive or gram negative organism. In fulminant meningitis, inflammatory cells infiltrate the wall of the leptomeningeal veins with potential extension of the inflammatory infiltrate into the substance of the brain, leading to focal encephalitis. But this encephalitis and cerebritis are more common in cases of viral meningitis. So basically, पेसेन्टलाई भाइरल मेनिन्जाइटिस भयो भने तिमीले क्लिनिसियन भएपछि के गर्नुपर्छ भने पेसेन्ट इज अल्सो सफरिङ फ्रम भाइरल एन्केफलाइटिस द्याट्स वाइ
Ma'am,
यो भाइरल भयो भने चाहिँ यस क्लास
ma'am, slide नै सानो आछ।
स्लाइड के भयो रे अब देखिरहेछ क्लास क्लास इज एभ्रिथिङ ओके नाउ
सानो देखिरहेछ म्याम।
कसरी सानो देख्यो त अहिले त ठिकै देखिरहेछ त ठिकै छ अब सकिन पनि गइहाल्यो क्लास सुन्न त अब के गर्ने म स्लाइड पछि पठाइदिन्छु नि हुन स्लाइड म मेल गरेर पठाइदिन्छु अहिले यु जस्ट लिसन एन्ड ट्राई टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड है त हुन्छ
हुन्छ म्याम।
आन्सर नगर्ने के Okay, the gram stain will reveal the causative organism, and in fulminant meningitis, sometimes only the bacterial meningitis will be associated with bacterial encephalitis. And even if there is encephalitis, there will be only focal cerebritis, right? But in viral meningitis, this is not the case. The viral meningitis will be usually associated with viral encephalitis as well. There will be phlebitis meaning inflammation of the veins leading to venous occlusion and infarction, hemorrhagic infarction of the underlying brain as a complication. Sometimes when the healing occurs, that there will be leptomeningeal fibrosis, and that can lead to consequent hydrocephalus following pyogenic meningitis, and that will be also a complication. And in some infection, particularly in pneumococcal meningitis, there will be presence of large capsular polysaccharide from the organism that will lead to arachnoid fibrosis, leading to chronic adhesive arachidonitis. So if there is arachidonitis, again there will be hydrocephalus. So those are the complications of bacterial meningitis. Viral meningitis are also known as acute aseptic meningitis. Aseptic because when you do the bacteriological profile, gram stain will reveal nothing. That's why they are termed as aseptic meningitis. The clinical course is less fulminant than that of the pyogenic meningitis. In aseptic meningitis, there is lymphocytic pleocytosis, meaning lymphocytic the cells will be increased, mildly increased, but all those cells will be lymphocytes. Protein will be only moderately increased, and sugar content is always normal because the virus will not use up the sugar. Virus ले sugar use गर्दैन, protein पनि अलिकति मात्र elevated छ र lymphocyte पनि अलिकति मात्र elevated छ भने viral meningitis. But in tubercular meningitis, there will be the cells will be lymphocytes, but the lymphocytes will be more in number, you know. Plus protein will be markedly elevated and the sugar will be markedly reduced. किनभने tubercle mycobacterium tuberculosisले त्यसले सबै sugar use गरिदिन्छ CSF को, that's why है त. So the causative agents, causative viruses are enterovirus, ecovirus, coxsackie virus, and non-paralytic type of poliovirus are some of the virus. Most common infection in of the CNS, especially less than 1 year of the age, causes are enterovirus. Enterovirus are the most common cause of viral meningitis. Even herpes, influenza, rubella, ecovirus, Coxsackie virus, Epstein-Barr virus, adenovirus, they all can lead to viral meningitis. You will see lymphocytes, increased amount of lymphocytes in CSF, and the treatment is symptomatic treatment. There are no antiviral as such. Uh, as and the complications will be encephalitis and raised intracranial pressure. Okay. So the causes of aseptic meningitis, अघि भनिहाले, besides enterovirus is the most common, herpes simplex, अनि त्यसपछि गएर varicella zoster, cytomegalo, Epstein-Barr virus, HHV virus, HIV virus, polio virus, Coxsackie virus can be the causes of aseptic meningitis. And the rare cause, अघि मैले बिहान अघि भनेको थिएँ, even there can be even fungal meningitis. If there is fungal meningitis, the patient should be in immunosuppressed state. He should be in immunosuppressed states, and the organism causing by fungal meningitis are Cryptococcus neoformans and Blastomyces. Sometimes even Toxoplasma gondii can cause meningitis. Bacteria त भनिहाल्यो. These are the causes of meningitis. So morphology of viral meningitis, there is no distinctive macroscopic characteristic findings, except there will be brain swelling in some instances, because viral meningitis will be are in will be seen also in association with viral encephalitis है त. सो उनीहरूले चाहिँ मेनिन्जिसमा मात्र इन्फ्लेमेसन गर्छु भनी बस्दैन, उनीहरूले चाहिँ तलको ब्रेन प्यारेन्काइमामा पनि इन्फ्लेमेसन गराउँछ. द्याट्स वाइ यु विल सी ब्रेन स्वेलिङ एज वेल एज encephalitis. And if the patient is suffering from viral meningitis followed by encephalitis, they will be termed as viral meningoencephalitis. Right? Pathologic material is limited because recovery of the patient is the rule. So even if you do not treat them with antiviral drugs, they will recover from the viral meningitis. Microscopy, there will be no abnormality, but sometimes you can see mild infiltration by the lymphocytes in and around the letter. Right? So tubercular meningitis is very common. This is also termed as chronic bacterial meningitis. And patients with tuberculous meningitis usually have the symptoms of headache, malaise, mental confusion, and vomiting. There is only moderate CSF pleocytosis. There will be increased number of cells in the CSF more than viral meningitis. सबसे कम cell increase हुने भनेको चाहिँ viral meningitis मा, हैन, 10 to 100 micron. In tubercular, 100 to 1000 cells will be there, but all will be lymphocytes. In bacterial, there will be thousands to lakhs, but all will be neutrophils. Right? So basically, tubercular meningitis, you'll see predominantly mononuclear cells or lymphocytes. Sometimes few neutrophils can be seen. The protein is markedly elevated, and since the protein is markedly elevated, if you keep the CSF stand still, there will be presence of coagulum formation. The glucose will be very reduced because all the bacteria will use up the glucose. Right? So protein markedly elevated, glucose reduced, the count is moderately elevated, maximum of them are lymphocytes. They will be increased in number 100 to 1000 मा भइरहेको छ भन्ने भने that will be your feature of tubercular meningitis. In tubercular meningitis, the subarachnoid space will contain a gelatinous or a fibrinous exudate, most often at the base of the brain, obliterating the cisterns, encasing the CNS nerves, cranial nerves. That's why the rate of complication in tubercular meningitis is also high. They are discrete white granules scattered all over the leptomeninges. They are the tubercles. And the most common pattern of involvement is diffuse meningoencephalitis. यसले चाहिँ ब्रेनको बेसमा मात्र भनेर छैन, ब्याक्टेरियलमा चाहिँ ब्रेनको बेसमा मात्र कि त ब्रेनको सल्कसमा मात्र, गाइरसमा मात्र, सेरेब्रल कोर्टेक्सको भनेर हुन्थ्यो। र यसमा चाहिँ हाम्रो ट्युबरकुलर मेनिन्जाइटिसमा होल अफ द ब्रेन प्यारेन्काइमा के अरे होल अफ द मेनिन्जेस विल बी इन्भल्भ एन्ड होल अफ द इभन द encephalitis will be there, right? So when you look at the microscopy, you will see a mixture of lymphocytes, plasma cells, and macrophages because this is a chronic process. You can see well-formed granulomas, epithelioid cell macrophages, along with caseous necrosis and Langhans types of giant cells. The arteries running through the meninges will show obliterative and arteritis. And when you perform a special stain, Gill-Nielsen stain, acid-fast stain, you will see numerous acid-fast bacilli in the brain parenchyma and meninges, and the infectious process may spread to the choroid plexus and ependymal surface, traveling through the CSF. In long-standing cases, you will see dense fibrous tissue leading to adhesive type of arachidonitis, mainly in the base of the brain. So the clinical feature will be usually insidious and difficult to diagnose. They will be seen after fever or after upper respiratory tract infection. They are rare in developed countries, but in our part of the world, tubercular meningitis is very common. And it is equally more common in children as well. If untreated, these are usually fatal because of the adhesive type of disease in the brain parenchyma. The meningitis usually occurs after 3 to 6 months of the primary infection, and primary infection are usually located in the lungs. So, कसैलाई पनि pulmonary tuberculosis छ भन्यो भने हामीले ड्रग औषधि एटीटी चलाउँदा लाउँदै उसलाई बिच बिचमा फलोअपमा किन बोलाउँछौँ भन्दाखेरि there can be complication of dissemination. That disseminated process can involve the meningitis leading to tubercular meningitis. And since the tubercular meningitis is fatal in nature, we have to treat them accordingly, right? So during the first early period, there will be fever, malaise, headache, and then after in second week, there will be sudden meningeal signs of irritations will appear. Patient cannot flex his neck because he will have pain in the neck. And stage 3, there will be worsening neurological condition. The cranial nerve pulses will be there. The encephalitis will be frank, and then it can lead to death in some patients. So the another manifestation of the disease is development of a single well-circumscribed intraparenchymal mass known as tuberculoma, which will be associated with meningitis. Meningitis भयो भने त मेनिन्जिसमा मात्र इन्फ्लेमेसन हुन्छ, तर पेसेन्टलाई अन्डरलाइन एन्केफलाइटिस भयो भने कहिलेकाहीँ के हुन्छ, पेसेन्टको ब्रेनमा यत्रो ठुलो मास, त्यो मास विल बी कम्पोज्ड अफ a granuloma, होइन? So a well circumscribed single intraparenchymal mass, if becomes manifest in the patient, that tuberculoma will have a significant mass effect, and patient the brain को ठाउँमा त हाम्रो skull brain त enlarge हुन दिँदैन. So अनि त्यो enlarge नहुने ठाउँमा यत्रो ठुलो मास आएर बस्यो भने के हुन्छ, patient will have neurological manifestation. कि प्यारालिसिस हुन्छ, प्यारालिसिस भनेको weakness of the muscles, कि प्यारालिसिस हुन्छ, प्यारालिसिस भनेको complete loss of control of the muscles, होइन? खुट्टै उठाउन नसक्ने हेमी प्यारालिसिस भनेको one side प्यारालिसिस, त्यस्तो हुँदै जान्छ. फ्रन्टल लोबमा छ भने उसको इमोसनल मेमोरी लस हुँदै जाने भयो, होइन? त्यसरी अक्सिपिटल लोबमा छ भने उसलाई अप्थाल्मिक सिम्पटम्सहरू आउने, आईको प्रब्लम्स आउने भयो, त्यसरी. So the one of the complication of tubercular meningitis is encephalitis or arachidonitis, and sometimes it can lead to tuberculoma leading to mass effect leading to neurological effect, right? So on microscopic examination, that tuberculoma will also be composed of a granuloma. That granuloma will have a central core of caseous necrosis surrounded by epithelioid macrophages and Langhans cells and fibrosis. Sometimes calcification can also occur if it is a long process. So complication of meningitis, The most serious complication of chronic tubercular meningitis are arachidonitis and arachnoid fibrosis, which may produce hydrocephalus, obliterative arteritis leading to arterial occlusion and infarction of the brain. And one more is that it can lead to lead to pinching on the spinal root if the spinal cord is also affected, lead to spinal nerve or the nerve palsy. Cranial nerve लाई थिच्दियो भने cranial nerve palsy हुन्छ. ब्रेनको ब्रेनमा मास बनाएर टुबरकुलोमा पस्यो भने पनि there will be mass effect in the brain. So those are the complications of tubercular meningitis. And what and there is a very correlation between the HIV and tubercular meningitis. So, if the patient is suffering from HIV/AIDS and he is having tubercular meningitis, then it's a doctor like एकदमै confused गरिदिन्छ. So why? Because in case of tubercular meningitis in HIV patient, the host will not react and they will be confused with अरू केही encephalitis भएको हो कि meningitis मात्र भएको भनेर confuse हुन्छ. किनभने हामीसँग ग्रानुलोमा बनाउनलाई पनि बडीले ग्रानुलोमा पनि बनाउन सक्दैन होइन इम्युनिटी कम भएर द्याट्स वाइ इन केस अफ एचआइभी all the clinical scenario, all the clinical manifestation and all the complication will be completely different if the patient is also suffering from HIV. So the complication of meningitis is from the meninges, the bacteria can lodge into other body parts, leading to septic shock and disseminated intravascular coagulation. There can be presence of cerebral edema leading to neurological manifestation. Seizures can be there. Arterial and venous thrombosis can be there. Subdural effusion and hydrocephalus. Sometimes brain abscess can be there, leading to brain damage and uh, and focal neurologic deficit like deafness, blindness, paralysis can also be there. So these are the complications of meningitis. Basically, meningitis complication will be encephalitis, and that encephalitis will lead to all these complications. Right? So that is about today's class. बुझ्यो? यसमा आजकोमा सबसे इम्पोर्टेन्ट भनेको you have to know the different type of different findings of CSF. CSF को finding चाहिँ चाहिन्छ. Don't मलाई यो च्याटमा यस्तो लेखेर मलाई के पनि थाहा हुँदैन because I'll be taking your classes है. So yes, Deepika S. Who's Deepika S? Why is the cobweb formation in tubercular meningitis? Yes, the other Deepika.
प्रोटिनको लेभल चाहिँ इन्क्रिज भएर
बिकज इन्क्रिज मात्र होइन इन्क्रिज त भाइरलमा पनि हुन्छ ब्याक्टेरियलमा पनि हुन्छ तर यति धेरै मार्कली इन्क्रिज हुन्छ कि ट्युबरकुलर मेनिन्जाइटिसमा अनि प्लस त्यसमा त्यो जम्मै त्यो अरू टाइपको प्रोटिनहरू पनि आउने भएर त्यो चाहिँ जब त्यसलाई हामीले स्ट्यान्ड स्टिल गरेर राखिराखे एकछिनसम्म भन्यो भने त्यो सबै जमेर एउटै कोअगुलम बन्छ. त्यो कोअगुलम हेऱ्यो भने स्पाइडरको कबवेब जस्तो देखिन्छ रेसा रेसा भएको. द्याट्स वाइ इट इज नोन एज cobweb type of coagulum that is typically seen in case of bacterial मा पनि tubercular meningitis मा है त. Don't ask questions in chat. यदि पनि हिम्मत छैन म्यामलाई क्वेशन सोधौँ भनेर. के छ अरू कन्फ्युजन class? Okay, so you can wait for other lectures to continue, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.